I'm Shivani of Computer Science D section. I'm going to talk about business economics and financial analysis, the exceptions to the obligation to pay on demand. Demand analysis, introduction and meaning. Demand in common parlance means the desire of an object, but in economics, demand is something more than this. According to Stonier and Hug, demand in economics means demand backed up by enough money to pay for the goods demand. Factors affecting demand. There are factors on which the demand for a commodity depends. These factors are economic, social, as well as political factors. The effects of all the factors on the amount demanded for the commodity is called demand function. These factors are as follows: price of the commodity, income of the consumer, prices of related goods, tastes of the consumers, wealth, population. Increase in population increase demand for necessaries of life, government policy, expectations regarding the future, climate and weather, state of business, climate and weather, state of business. Law of demand. Law of demand shows the relation between price and quantity demanded of a commodity in the market. In the words of Marshall, the amount demand increases with a fall in price and diminishes with a rise in the price. Demand curve. DD shows the inverse relation between price and quantity demand of Apple. It is downward sloping. Assumptions. This is no change in consumer tastes and preferences. Income should remain constant. Prices of other goods should not change. There should be no substitute for the commodity. The commodity should not confer any distinction. The demand for the commodity should be continuous. People should not expect any change in the price of the commodity. Exceptional demand curve. Sometimes the demand curve slopes upwards from left to right. In this case, the demand curve has a positive slope. When the price increases from OP to OP1 quantity, demanded also increases from OQ1 and vice versa. The reason for exceptional demand curve are as follows. Giffen paradox. The given good or inferior good is an exception to the law of demand. When the price of an inferior good falls, the poor will buy less and vice versa. Veblen or demonstration effect. Veblen has explained the exceptional demand curve through this doctrine of conspicuous consumption. Rich people buy certain good because it gives social distinction or prestige. For example, diamonds are bought by the richer classes for the prestige it possesses. Ignorance. Sometimes the quality of the commodity is judged by its price. Consumers think that the product is superior if the price is high. As such, they buy more at the higher price. Speculative effect. If the price of the commodity is increasing, the consumers will buy more of it because of the fear that it increases still further. Thus, an increase in price may not be accomplished by decrease in demand. Fear of shortage. During the times of emergency of war, people may expect a shortage of a commodity. At that time, they may buy more at a higher price to keep stocks for the future. Necessaries. In the case of necessaries like rice, vegetables, etc., people buy more even at a higher price. Elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand explains the relationship between a change in price and con- consequent change in amount demanded. Marshall introduced the concept of elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand shows the extent of change in quantity demanded to a change in price. Measurement of elasticity of demand. Perfectly elastic demand. When small changes in price leads to an infinitely large change in quantity demand, it is called perfectly or infinitely elastic demand. In this case, E is equal to infinity. The demand curve DD1 is horizontal straight line. Perfectly inelastic demand. In this case, even a large change in price fails to bring about a change in quantity demanded. When the price increases from OP to OP dash, the quantity demanded remains the same. In other words, the response of demand to a change in price is nil. In this case, E is equal to 0. Relatively elastic demand. Demand changes more than proportionality to a change in price. That is, a small change in price leads to a very high big change in the quantity demanded. In this case, this E is greater than 1. This demand curve will be flatter. Relatively inelastic demand. Quantity demanded changes less than proportional to a change in price. A large change in price leads to small change in amount demanded. Here E is smaller than 1, and when price falls from OP dash to OP1, amount demanded increases from OQ to OQ1, which is smaller than the change in price. Unit elasticity of demand. The change in demand is exactly equal to the change in price. When both are equal, E is equal to 1, and the elasticity if set to be unitary. When price falls from OP to OP1, quantity demanded increases from OP to OP1. Quantity demanded increases from OQ to OQ1. Thus, a change in price has resulted in an equal change in quantity demanded. So, price elasticity of demand is equal to unity. Types of elasticity of demand. 1. Price elasticity of demand. 2. Income elasticity of demand. 0. Income elasticity. Negative income elasticity. Unit income elasticity. Income elasticity greater than unity. It shows high income elasticity of demand when income increases from OY to OY1. Quantity demanded increases from OQ to OQ1. Income elasticity less than unity. When income increases, quantity demanded also increases but less than proportionality. In this case, E is less than 1. An increase in income from OY to OY brings that an increase in quantity demanded from OQ to OQ1, but this increase in quantity demanded is smaller than the increase in income. Hence, income elasticity of demand is less than 1. Cross elasticity of demand. A change in the price of one commodity leads to a change in the quantity demanded of another commodity. This is called a cross elasticity of demand. The formula for cross elasticity of demand is proportionate change in the quantity demand of commodity X cross elasticity is equal to proportionate change in the price of commodity Y. In case of complements, cross elasticity is negative. In case of unrelated commodities, cross elasticity of demanded is 0. Quantity demanded of commodity B remains unchanged due to change in the price of A, as both are unrelated goods. Advertising elasticity of demand. Advertising elasticity of demand shows the change in quantity demanded as a result of a change in cost of advertisement. Advertising elasticity of demand may be stated in the form of a formula: proportionate change in the quantity demand of commodity. Advertising elasticity is equal to proportionate change in the advertisement cost. Thank you. That's all for the video.